aspiration is right in life is actually to know who I am, to know that I'm called for greatness, and because of that, I will always pursue my greatness regardless of the situation and the circumstances that I find myself in. So obstacles will be there, but then I never allow them to destroy and to kill my ambition to the greatness that I desire and I deserve. I believe that it is very, very important that each and every person should identify and confirm what their destiny, their purpose is. I do believe in the why question, and not and until you have answered your why should you start a journey. I needed to call myself back and tell myself I can no longer continue blaming everybody else about my future, about what I want to achieve. And it's at that point that you make a decision and say, I'm calling myself into a meeting. I'm calling myself back to myself and taking full responsibility of whom I want to be without blaming anybody. Chart your way forward, and forward it shall be. For me, the driving force, and I like people understanding this, because sometimes we analyze situations, and because of what I call over-analyzing a situation, you end up not even going for what you really want and what you deserve. So for me, at the very beginning, I was not thinking of obstacles. I was just thinking of what is the next big thing, as something that I use a lot in my language, because whenever you reach at the end of what you have now, you always want to discover what is the next great thing. So for me, at that particular moment in life, is what was the next great thing. The next great thing was to be an entrepreneur, and so I came out and dipped my feet into the cold water. And what are some of the obstacles, and what are some of the challenges that I needed to deal with? One of the challenges that I needed to deal with was I was coming from a very glorified career. To be a salaried partner then was a big thing. The salary was big, but imagine I was quitting and going into an area where I had no salary. So the first thing I had to deal with myself is to accept that I'm coming from a high level and agreeing to start from square one. But there's something I always say, and I truly believe. I am not where I am today because I have huge money. I have where I am and what I am today. It has a lot to do with my honesty and integrity. Because of that, people have supported me. My staff has supported me. My suppliers have supported me. My debtors have supported me. I've created an environment where people are able to trust me. So even when I didn't have money, to be honest, there are times people would come and give me millions of shillings and tell me, go and buy stocks and you come for the stock tomorrow, and A, B, and C. So one of the things I keep on stressing to people, especially the young people, that I do not believe that capital is a major limitation. There are other things that can become a limitation. This is what I say, that the values are so important. They form such a key foundation to who you become at the end of the day. The so-called obstacles, somehow I never perceived them as something that will prevent me from getting to my goal. In fact, in my book we say that as you pursue your purpose, you fight giants. But let me tell you, this is what we say, that giants should not swallow us. In fact, we should swallow our giants. And with that mental attitude, with that outlook towards the obstacles, I can tell you, no mountain is big that cannot be conquered. And that is my philosophy in life. The journey that I've walked for you, the journey that I've walked, I desire that you look at it and let it be a lesson to you. The stones, the thorns that have pierced me, now that I've walked the journey, if you follow me, you can learn from me. So it is very important, yes, that you have people that you look up to, because it makes your work easier. Having said that, the responsibility still rest on you. The question you want to ask yourself, are you willing to do exactly what they do? Because what exactly they do is what has given them the perceived success. It rests on the mentee to look out for the mentors. Character, to a certain extent, comes out of routines.
Yes.
You first of all start doing certain routines, and those routines become a discipline, and then you want to live with that, within that discipline.
Yes.
And discipline is very, very, very important if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
And it is good even at whatever point one is. Whether you are even a young child, the mothers should teach their children to live a life of discipline. So for me, my greatest secret then was I was focused, and by the way, focus and consistent is one of the values that we treasure a lot. So when we set up ourselves on a path, we will remain on our lane until it is successful. We do not encourage meandering. And in the unlikely event that it doesn't become successful, I always say, I'll be humble enough to come back and say, I gave it my very best, but I'm sorry, it is not working.
Yeah.
So for 10 years, I focused on one.